Hasbro's Marvel rivals Jeff the Landshark and Venom 2-pack is up for pre-order right now.
And it's gone.
Yeah, sorry, I wouldn't normally start with this story, but I thought, you know what? I can't resist the South Park gif. Yeah, it is available, or it was, and now it's gone. But it might be back. Who knows? And it may well be available in other places. It was just Big Bad Toy Store that seemed to clear out of all of their pre-order stock. Just like that. But you know what? I'm always a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I'm always a guy who's calling full scarcity from the rooftops. So I can't help but feel that someone in the Marvel Legends warehouse is going to be clearing up some boxes, doing a little bit of sweeping, and be like, oh, blow me down. What have I just found? A whole ton of Venom and Jeff the Landshark 2-packs that we can now put out for retail. So don't worry if you haven't picked it up yet. Don't start scouring the internet for pre-order sales that people do on eBay. How lame is that? Who are you? I hope none of you are watching this. You people who sell things as pre-orders on eBay before you've even got them. Like, they say you can't scalp some things. This is scalp. This is like pre-scalping. Nah, get in the bin, mate. Anyway, if you want it and you haven't got your pre-order in, I feel like you'll probably be able to get it. So just cool, deep, calming breaths. We gonna be okay. And I got to admit, I'm a little bit surprised. $65 is a lot of money for 1.5 figures. But hey, Marvel Rivals is hot. People love Jeff the Landshark. And that's the world we're living in. So if you got it, congratulations. If you haven't, but you want it, stay tuned. I reckon you'll still have a chance. Possibly the nicest figure of today's video, it's got to be, for me at least, the Mezco animated Scarecrow. The animated Batman line from Mezco, they all seem to be bangers. And we were wondering who is the villain that's going to be coming out in alignment with Robin. It was Batman and the Joker, wasn't it? And then there was Robin, and people were like, who's the villain going to be? Well, now you know. And they've gone all in with this guy. This isn't one of those minimum jobs with Mezco. They're throwing in all the different heads, all the different masks, the different looks of not Ichabod Crane. What's his name? Is it Jonathan Crane? Whatever. The Scarecrow. And the Scarecrow always going to hold a little special place in my heart because he freaked me out when I was a kid, because the Batman animated show was my introduction to these characters. I'd never seen the Scarecrow before. And then on a Saturday morning when I'm in my pajamas, eating my breakfast cereal, I'm shown this character who can trap innocent people in their worst nightmares. Thanks, Warner Brothers. So because of that, I have an appreciation for how horrifying the Scarecrow really is. And this actually looks pretty amazing. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Man, what a theme tune. And you guys cannot be mad at me for wanting to sing it. You're just lucky that I'm not covering Chippendale's Rescue Rangers on this show as well, or else it would turn into full-on Disney karaoke. But we do have pre-orders available right now up on Big Bad Toy Store and many other places as well for the Neca Ducktales figures. And what a first wave lineup this is. They're not doing like some subtle little sneaky rollout. They're like, you want the DuckTales characters? Boom! You're looking for this? So we got Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We got Scrooge McDuck. That was terrible, actually. We got Launchpad McQuack, and we got Gizmo Duck. So pretty much all the major players right there. And Neca, I always love their cartoonified figures because they're just perfect three-dimensional recreations of the animation. That's what they needed to do. That's what they've done. Yes, they are expensive at $40 a piece, but you do get a lot of accessories with them as well. So for anyone who's a child of the 80s and 90s like me that grew up with these fellas, there's going to be a big nostalgia factor there. And when you factor that in mind, all of a sudden, $40 each, maybe it doesn't feel so bad. But I got to admit, if I bought these, my Scrooge McDuck money bank would be very much empty. McDuck, that's not Scottish. Scrooge McDuck, Scrooge McDuck. No, I can't do it. Four Horsemen have just shown off their two Legions Con exclusive figures, and they almost make me feel a little bit patriotic for merry old England, because we're getting King Arthur and Merlin, both of which look like your typical Four Horsemen fare, by which I mean really pretty good. I feel like the King Arthur has a nice amount of changeability with his costume, so you can just have a generic knight if you want as well. But really, the full King Arthur robes, it's good. I like it, but also I don't know how sort of classically English it looks. I don't know. I'm a terrible person when it comes to articulating my thoughts. Means that, you know, a YouTube blogger, terrible career. But I just feel like he doesn't scream English enough to me. I don't know. I think maybe we need like a St. George and the Dragon kind of thing going on. I don't know. But it's nice. It's a nice looking figure anyway. Merlin, but more so, I really like. Like, no notes on Merlin. But what I really dig with Merlin is that he's got all the little vials and pockets and pouches of different potions and things. Got a real RPG type feel to it. He feels like a World of Warcraft or Diablo type character who'd be running around with his different spells and enchantments and stuff. That's really cool. But then you got the evil demon form that you can turn him into as well. So the different head, the cloven hooves and the wings, whole lot to play about with there. So these two together, another fun addition from Four Horsemen. McFarlane Toys, the premium side, the elite side of McFarlane Toys, are giving us this admittedly rather awesome looking Diablo 4 figure. Let me read off the official information so I get it right. It says in the blurb, the Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred expansion drops today. And you can celebrate by picking up our Lilith Elite Edition action figure based on the game. $60, which is the going rate for elite McFarlane action figures. And you know what? It's nice to right the karma scales a little bit, because I think it was the last episode where I was giving out about McFarlane figures and how janky they look. It was the Mortal Kombat ones, because boy, they're still struggling with humans, but this ain't a human. Exactly. I haven't played Diablo, but looks pretty much like a demonic monster to me, and that's where they shine. So the wings, the claws, the details, everything looks really cool. Is it $60 worth of cool? I can't tell you that. Only you can tell yourself that. But if you're a Diablo player, this one might be right up your street. A range of figures that I've been finally exposed to after moving to Hong Kong is Acid Rain. After covering them online for so long, I'm finally seeing them with my own two eyes. And you know what my own two eyes are telling me? These are some pretty nice figures right there, lads. They really, really are. I mean, we have Toys R Us here in Hong Kong, which explains, maybe, why we are getting a Toys R Us themed Acid Rain character. I didn't put two and two together at first, because I was like, Toys R Us, is that a thing? Yeah, of course it is, Dave. You literally went to one two days ago. Yeah. So Toys R Us still exists in some parts of the world, including this one. And because of that, we're getting this dude. And can't you just imagine him charging over the battlefield, Uzis spraying out bullets with the theme of "There's a magical place, we're on our way there, with toys in the millions all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us." Ah! That tickles me. Anyway, this looks really cool. Pre-order information down below. Is this going to be my first Acid Rain figure? Genuinely might be, which is kind of ridiculous. But if you want your military, futuristic-looking badasses more legit and grounded, then how about a little bit of Helldivers? Oh yeah, McFarlane once again. I'm singing the praises of McFarlane. I'm always going to start breaking out in hives if I keep doing this. But their Helldivers figures look really good. Once again, let me read you the blurb. So this one is the McFarlane Toys Helldiver in B01 tactical armor. This is the Elite Edition figure based on the Helldivers 2, which is gonna be released, apparently, May 6th, so not even long to wait for it. And I had my little stint of playing Helldivers 2 with my buddies. I'm not a big online gamer, but that was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you haven't played Helldivers 2, just think Starship Troopers, with the irony turned all the way up, like even higher than Starship Troopers, which some folks could still mistake Starship Troopers as like not being a satire, whereas Helldivers 2, it's like, oh no, they know exactly what they're doing, and it's a whole lot of fun. So as far as licenses that McFarlane Toys actually do really well is concerned, Helldivers, tailor-made for them. Up for pre-order right now from McFarlane Toys, we have the TMNT Page Punchers Wave 3. We got Donatello and Leonardo. These are from the IDW comics, and I kind of love the samurai. Wow. I just figured McFarlane is 3 for 3 with praise on this episode. That's a hat trick, Todd. Hey, there you go. That's what happens when you stop trying to do human beings and do monsters and armor. That's the winning formula right there, because I think these turtles look good. It's not my favorite style of turtles, but it's very much, done like the IDW comics. I'm fine with that. I mean, let's face it, there's literally a Turtles action figure for every different look and appearance they've ever had, so you can take your pick. What I do love about these are the samurai armor, of course. That's the whole gimmick of them, because it just kind of harkens back to Turtles in Time or the third Ninja Turtles movie, which admittedly wasn't good, but it's still got a little bit of nostalgic charm. And the fact that there's lots of swap out parts and pieces you can have with these guys, there's some fun playability with them. So yeah, there you go. A hat trick for McFarlane. Didn't think that was going to happen in this episode, or ever. And then finally from McFarlane Toys, we have some preview images of the DC Page Punchers Robin from Teen Titans 41. And once again, you're pushing your luck with this one, Todd, but it's another figure I like. And it's a human being as well. That feels real odd, but I got to admit, I think this Robin actually looks pretty cool. Not my favorite costume version of Robin. I feel like Robin, you got to have some green in the costume somewhere. But I think he looks decent. Maybe it's because he only has like the head showing, so the body doesn't look too funny. It's all just covered. That might be what helps it. Or it might just be that Todd has made a really good action figure, and grumpy old Dave can't even bring himself to fully admit it. I will say, oh wow, I almost choked on my own disbelief there. But also, I love the Page Punchers gimmick. The fact that we still get the occasional action figure with a comic as well, the way the good Lord intended. Todd, I'm not going to complain about that. If you want a more high-end type DC action figure, then Revoltech have given us a pretty badass-looking preview of their upcoming Deadshot figure. Of course, this is only one single highly doctored image to whet our appetites with, so I'm not going to start heaping praise on it yet, or even linger for too long, because it's just the one image, but it certainly gets me a little bit excited to see what this is going to look like, because Revoltech are on kind of a roll right now. With their recent Batman Beyond looking the bee's knees, I have no reason to think this Deadshot isn't going to follow suit. So if you're a DC collector that wants to go a little outside McFarlane or outside Mafex, then Revoltech, they're building up their rosters. And judging from this picture at least, it looks like they're going to continue doing what they do best, which is making badass action figures. Of all the Masked Rider related figures that SH Figure Arts have put out over the last couple of years, this one is absolutely another. And that's about all I can tell you. But you know me, I do love some pretty pictures, and this is what we're looking at here. Plus, every time I do one of these, someone comments and tells me why this is a badass character with an awesome backstory. And I really appreciate that. So just to get the correct details out, this little fella right here is Shin... It's half the fun is just pronouncing it, isn't it? It is Shinkokucho. Oh, Shinkokucho. There you go. Actually, once I break it down, I know the pronunciation easily. Shinkokucho Seihu, Masked Rider G7. There you go. Scheduled for release February of next year. If you're a Masked Rider fan, you already know about this guy. So much so, you might want to pick him up. And if you do, good on ya. Well, ain't this just beautiful? This is Mr. Z x Ding Toys Tich Lich Hua Tianmin action figure. I need to brush up on my Chinese history because I'm not sure what period this is from or what the details are behind it. But I like a pretty figure when I see it. And that goes for everything in this world. I see a pretty figure and I'm like, dang, People need to know about this. I'm going to make a video about it. So yeah, if you are into your Chinese military history, I guess, the labor of love that's been poured into this guy is pretty incredible. All the information I've got isn't even in Chinese, I don't think. I think it's in Malaysian or something. I don't even recognize the text. So I'm going to have fun trying to find out some information about this. But I wanted you to see it with your own peepers because dang, he looks so impressive. The amount of details and the little bitty intricacies, the intricacies on the armor plating, real incredible. So for an art piece, not just an action figure, but an art piece, a historical art piece, no less. You can get kind of highfalutin with this. This looks pretty amazing. It kind of makes me want to break out a history book and learn about Chinese military stuff. But I won't. That feeling's quickly going to pass me by when I see a squirrel outside. That's how my brain works. I know that I covered the Inart Batman Who Laughs on the last episode, and sometimes I do double up on stories. I don't want to do it, but occasionally when a badass toy blogger like Isaac Wong over here gets a figure in hand and makes a really nice looking promo video to show it off, I gotta give you the chance to gawp over it as well. For anyone who doesn't know the origin for the Batman Who Laughs, a very cool one, where in an alternate reality, Batman finally snaps and kills the Joker, but in doing so, the Joker has like an internal gas pellet that goes off and the Joker toxin leaks out of his mouth and infects Batman. And what's kind of fun is that he realizes that he's infected, so he invites the entire Bat family to the Batcave to be like, hey guys, I've been infected with Joker toxin, you're gonna have to deal with me when it strikes. And they're like, oh gosh, Batman, that's terrible. How long do you think we have until it hits? And he's like, about now. And then bad things happen. But it's pretty cool. And this character, he's definitely got his just desserts from Inart. So yeah, if you like the idea of an evil Jokerized Batman, this one's going to be for you. And that does it for Good News for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't given a thumbs up, then I'll do better, I promise. But if you want to give me a little token one now, come on, what's it gonna hurt? Thank you for watching, and thank you so much, channel members, for supporting this channel. What did you think about all the items covered? Comment below and let me know. I reply to as many comments as I can do, and I'm still working to catch up with all of them. It really means the world to have that interaction with you guys. So thank you so much for your support, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Big time.